Today we are going to be looking at multiplying dividing fractions. So let's first take a look at multiplying fractions. To multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. So the numerator gets multiplied by the numerator and the denominator gets multiplied by the denominator. Then after, we have to remember we need to simplify. Okay, let's look at some examples. We have 7/10 times negative 4/21. So let's multiply straight across. 7 times 4 is 28, but this fraction is negative, so we're going to say negative 28 over. 10 times 21 is 210. Now we need to simplify. We are going to simplify by seeing what number divides into both 28 and 210 evenly. So 7 goes into both. So when we divide each by 7, we are going to get negative 28 divided by 7 is 4 over 210 divided by 7 is 30. Now, is 4/30 simplified? It is not, so we need to divide. We can take 2 into both the numerator and the denominator. So 4 divided by 2 gives us 2, and 30 divided by 2 is 15. And we cannot forget to bring our negatives with it. Okay, so number 2. Let's do the same thing. So we'll multiply straight across. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 8 is 24. We need to see what number goes into both 14 and 24 evenly. 2 goes into both. So we can divide both of them by 2. And we get 7 over 12. Let's look at number 3. We're going to do this one a little bit differently. We are going to simplify first and then multiply. So when we simplify, let's simplify diagonally. So 5 and 10. We can simplify and take 5 out of both of them. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now we can divide this way and simplify. 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. Now we have the new fraction, and we're going to multiply straight across. So we have negative 1 times 1. That's negative 1. Then we have 4 times 2, and that is 8. So sometimes it's easier just to go on and simplify first, and then multiply, so you're working with smaller numbers. Number 4. We have 10 times negative 2 and 3/11. We need to change this 2 and 3/11, this mixed number, into an improper fraction. So remember, we take it and multiply and then add. So negative 2 times 11, or let's do it without the negative. 2 times 11 is 22. Add 3, and we get 25. Keep the denominator of 11, and then it's negative. So we're multiplying negative 25/11 times 10, and 10 is 10 over 1. And then when we multiply straight across, 10 times negative 25 gives us negative 250. And then 1 times 11 is 11. And we can just keep this as an improper fraction for now. Let's look at number 5. We have 3/4 times 4. Let's change 12 into a fraction. So we're going to do 3/4 times 12 over 1. So any whole number we can change into a fraction by putting it over 1. So let's simplify this first. If we go diagonally, 4 and 12, we can take out 4. So we get 1, and then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. And this simplifies just to give us the number 9. Let's look at number 6. Can we simplify straight diagonally? 2 and 7 we cannot, and 4 and 5 we cannot. So let's just multiply straight across. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 7 is 35. So let's just double check. 8 over 35. Can we simplify that? We cannot. So our answer is 8/35. Now let's look at dividing fractions. So the rule for dividing fractions is we keep, change, then flip. So what I mean by that is we keep the first fraction. We change division to multiplication. So we change to multiplication. And then we flip the second fraction. So we put the numerator in the denominator becomes the numerator. So in this case, it would be 7 over 3. So let's look at some examples. So we have 2/9 divided by 3/7. So we keep 2/9, change division to multiplication, and flip 3/7 to 7/3. And now we simplify. 2 times 7 is 14, and 9 times 3 is 27. And we cannot simplify this anymore. Number 2, we have -2/5 divided by 4/7. So we're going to keep -2/5, change to multiplication, and flip to be 7/4. We cannot, actually we can. If we simplify diagonally, -2 and 4, we can take out 2. So it becomes -1, and 4 becomes 2. Now we can multiply straight across. -1 times 7 is -7, and 5 times 2 is 10. So we get -7/10. Number 3, we have mixed numbers. We need to change them into improper. So we're going to multiply and then add. So we get 25 over 6 divided by, we're going to multiply and then add. 1 times 3 plus 2, we get 5 over 3, but it's negative. Now we need to change this. And we're going to have keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, and flip. So 3 over -5. Now simplify going diagonally. 25 and 5, we can take 5 out of it, it becomes -1 and 5. 3 and 6, take 3 out of it, so it becomes 1 and 2. Multiply straight across. 5 times 1 is 5, and 2 times -1 is -2. So our answer is -5/2. The next one, we have to change it. We get 8 over 11 times 40 over 33. Now multiply straight across. 8 times 40 is 320. And 11 times 33 is 363. Number 5, keep the first fraction, change the multiplication, and flip. We are going to simplify diagonally. So this simplifies to a 2, and this is a 1, and multiply straight across. 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 1 is 5. The last problem we are going to look at is negative 7/8 divided by 2/5. Keep 7, negative 7/8, change, and flip to 5/2. Simplify diagonally, which we cannot. Now multiply straight across. We get negative 35 over 16. So that is how you are going to multiply and divide fractions. Please reach out if you have any questions.